What if I told you some of the strangest vehicles ever built weren't concepts, but real campers that actually hit the road? From a Volkswagen Beetle turned into a rolling house, to three-story campers balancing in a pickup bed, and even RVs that looked like UFOs cruising at highway speed, this is the golden era where engineers completely ignored normal and just built whatever came to mind. In this video, we're diving into 10 of the strangest vintage truck campers ever created. Designed so wild, so impractical, and so genius that they still leave collectors and car lovers stunned today. Buckle up, because some of these machines shouldn't exist, but somehow they do. When most people think of a heavy-duty camper, the absolute last vehicle that comes to mind is the tiny and underpowered Volkswagen Beetle. But during the late 1960s and 1970s, a small company in Costa Mesa looked at the legendary VW Bug and somehow decided it was the perfect base for a motorhome, creating the bizarre machine known as the Super Bugger. To build it, they completely chopped off the Beetle's body behind the front seats and mounted a miniature wood-framed camper shell directly onto the chassis, giving owners a tiny sink, a stove, and just enough room for two people, basically creating van life decades before it became trendy online. But there was one huge problem: the engine. The Super Bugger still relied on the Beetle's tiny air-cooled four-cylinder, making only around 60 horsepower, and with terrible aerodynamics, the camper handled more like a rolling kite than a real vehicle. Strong crosswinds made it terrifying to drive above 50 miles per hour, while the stock drum brakes struggled to stop the extra 500 pounds of wooden camper weight, turning every steep downhill road into a serious act of faith. Back in 1975, a fully assembled Super Bugger sold for around $6,000. But today, these strange campers are incredibly rare, and restored examples can fetch more than $40,000 at classic car auctions. That is an insane price for something that can barely outrun a bicycle. Weirdness meter, 9 out of 10. Practicality, maybe a 3. But if you think putting a tiny house on a Beetle was crazy, wait until you see what Chevrolet built next. In 1976, Chevrolet decided that buying a truck and adding an aftermarket camper was simply too much work for the average American, so they created one of the strangest factory campers ever made, the Chevrolet Blazer Chalet. Chevrolet partnered with the famous RV company Chinook to take their rugged K5 Blazer and permanently integrate a fiberglass pop-up camper directly into the body. Unlike normal truck campers, this was a fully connected setup, meaning you could walk straight from the driver's seat into the living area without ever stepping outside. Inside, buyers got a small stove, sink, icebox, and compact sleeping space, making it one of the earliest luxury overlanding vehicles ever built. But despite sounding brilliant on paper, the Blazer Chalet had one massive flaw that ultimately destroyed the project. The fiberglass camper shell added nearly 1,000 pounds to the top of the vehicle, completely ruining the Blazer's center of gravity. On rough off-road trails, the top-heavy design felt dangerously unstable and constantly close to tipping over, while the extra weight heavily strained the suspension and drivetrain, making it far less practical as an everyday vehicle. Because of these serious handling issues, Chevrolet only managed to build around 1,780 units before quietly canceling the project in 1977. Back then, a Blazer Chalet cost roughly $9,000 to $11,000, but today, thanks to the massive popularity of overlanding culture, surviving models have become highly desirable collector's items, with pristine examples now selling for over $50,000 to $60,000. Weirdness meter, 7 out of 10. Off-road terror level, easily 10 out of 10. But if you think a top-heavy Blazer camper was strange, wait until you see the next machine, because someone actually turned an airplane into a motorhome. If you were driving down the highway in the late 1960s and suddenly saw the bizarre Ultravan in your mirror, you probably would have thought aliens had landed. Designed by aircraft engineer David Peterson, the Ultravan looked like a giant aluminum jelly bean on wheels. Peterson hated the huge boxy RVs of the era, so he used aerospace engineering to build a lightweight futuristic motorhome. Instead of a heavy steel frame, it used aluminum monocoque construction, basically like an airplane fuselage without wings. Even with a full kitchen, bathroom, and sleeping area inside, the 22-foot camper weighed only around 3,400 pounds, lighter than many modern SUVs today. But the biggest flaw was the engine. To keep the floor flat, Peterson used the rear-mounted air-cooled flat six from the Chevrolet Corvair, producing just 110 horsepower. On steep mountain roads, the Ultravan struggled badly and could barely maintain highway speeds. Originally sold for around $8,000, production later collapsed after Chevrolet discontinued the Corvair engine in 1969. Today, these rare rolling UFOs have become cult classics, with restored models selling for over $40,000. Weirdness meter, 10 out of 10, and UFO confusion level, absolutely 100%. In the 1980s, most motorhomes were massive fuel-guzzling bricks, but engineer Bill Collins, famous for co-designing the DeLorean DMC-12, decided to change everything with the futuristic Vixen 21TD. His idea was simple, but ahead of its time. Build a camper that drives like a European sports sedan instead of a slow truck. The result was a low-slung, ultra-aerodynamic 21-foot RV that was so compact it could actually fit inside a standard suburban garage. It used a wind tunnel-tested fiberglass body, a huge panoramic windshield, and an extremely low center of gravity that made it surprisingly stable at high speeds. Under the rear sat a BMW turbo diesel engine paired with a Renault 5-speed manual transmission, giving it proper European driving feel. Thanks to its lightweight design, the Vixen weighed around 5,000 pounds and could deliver an impressive 30 miles per gallon, almost unheard of for an RV even today. But despite all its engineering brilliance, it had one fatal flaw. The market didn't understand it. Traditional RV buyers wanted tall ceilings, huge interiors, and automatic transmissions, not a low-sitting diesel sports RV that required manual shifting. The roof was so low you couldn't stand inside unless you popped up the upper section, which turned off many buyers. Because of this mismatch, only about 587 units were ever produced before the company went bankrupt in 1986. Today, this misunderstood masterpiece can sell for $30,000 to $50,000 among collectors. Weirdness meter, 8 out of 10. Driving dynamics, 10 out of 10. Long before influencers were spending hundreds of thousands on custom sprinter vans, the ultimate off-grid machine was the Toyota Sunraider 4x4. Built in the 1980s by Gardner Pacific, it combined the toughness of the Toyota Hilux chassis with a lightweight fiberglass camper shell. Unlike wooden campers that could rot or leak, the Sunraider used a molded fiberglass body that was nearly waterproof and far more durable. With Toyota's reliable 4x4 system and compact size, it could climb rocky trails where huge RVs would instantly get stuck. But early models had a dangerous flaw. Weighing around 5,000 pounds, the camper overloaded Toyota's half-ton rear axle, which used a fake dual-wheel setup nicknamed Foolies. The heavy shell, water, and gear put extreme stress on the axle, and reports began appearing of rear axles snapping at highway speeds, sometimes with serious consequences. Toyota eventually issued recalls and upgraded them to stronger full-floating 1-ton axles in the 1980s. Originally priced around $20,000, the Sunraider is now a highly desirable retro overlanding rig. Clean, axle-upgraded 4x4 models can sell for $40,000 to $60,000 today, even more than some modern luxury SUVs. Weirdness meter, 6 out of 10. Legendary status, 11 out of 10. And before Toyota perfected compact campers, another company tried something even more extreme in the 1960s, turning industrial engineering into a road-going steel beast. Before the modern motorhome industry even existed, the Clark Equipment Company, a brand famous for building forklifts and heavy tractors, decided to step into the RV world. The result was the 1963 Clark Cortez, a design that was decades ahead of its time. Instead of a wooden box on a truck chassis like most early campers, Clark engineers built a fully integrated steel unibody vehicle. Even more innovative, they made it front-wheel drive, removing the heavy rear drivetrain and creating a completely flat, low interior floor where adults could actually stand comfortably. Inside, it was an impressive piece of industrial design, but its biggest strength was also its downfall. Because it was built like a forklift, the Cortez was extremely heavy at around 7,000 pounds. Early versions used a weak Chrysler Slant 6 engine, making it painfully slow and barely capable of maintaining highway speeds. To make things worse, the all-steel body had poor rust protection, and in salty winter regions, the underside could quickly deteriorate into corrosion. Despite its innovation, it was heavy, slow, and rust-prone. Originally priced around $10,000 in the 1960s, surviving examples are now rare, and fully restored units can sell for over $30,000 among collectors who appreciate its industrial engineering. Weirdness meter, 7 out of 10. Structural rigidity, 10 out of 10. And while the Cortez pioneered front-wheel drive RV design, it would take a major automaker in the 1970s to turn that idea into one of the most iconic motorhomes ever built. When General Motors entered the motorhome world, they didn't do it quietly. They dropped a masterpiece. In 1973, they unveiled the GMC motorhome, a machine that looked like it rolled straight out of science fiction. Unlike other builders who slapped wooden camper boxes onto truck chassis, GM designed this RV completely from scratch. It used the front-wheel drive V8 drivetrain from the Oldsmobile Toronado, giving it an incredibly low and aerodynamic body. The result was a futuristic, almost spaceship-like motorhome with air suspension and tandem rear wheels that made it ride like a luxury Cadillac. Weighing over 10,000 pounds and stretching 26 feet long, it could still cruise comfortably at highway speeds around 70 miles per hour. Many experts still call it the best driving motorhome ever built. But its downfall wasn't engineering, it was timing. Powered by a massive 455 cubic inch V8, it delivered terrible fuel economy, and just as production ramped up, the 1973 oil crisis hit. Gas shortages and skyrocketing prices made huge luxury RVs suddenly unpopular overnight. GM had no choice but to shut production down in 1978 after about 13,000 units. Originally priced around $35,000, the GMC motorhome is now a cult legend. Restored and modernized versions often sell for over $100,000 today, proving its design was far ahead of its time. Weirdness meter, 8 out of 10. Sci-fi swagger, 10 out of 10. But if you think factory-built RVs are wild, what happens when someone tries to build one in their own garage? In March 1974, Popular Mechanics magazine published do-it-yourself plans by designer Robert Q. Riley for a wild home-built camper called the Boonie Bug. With just a few $100s, basic woodworking tools, and a lot of patience, builders could transform a junked Volkswagen Type 2 microbus into an angular, futuristic off-road machine that looked like a NASA lunar rover. The plans involved stripping the VW chassis down to bare metal and building an entirely new body using plywood, polyurethane foam, and fiberglass resin, forming a bold cab-over design powered by the original VW engine, capable of reaching around 65 miles per hour. But the biggest flaw was that everything depended on the builder's skill. Since it was a DIY wooden structure, safety and durability were unpredictable at best. If the plywood wasn't perfectly sealed, rain could slowly turn the sci-fi camper into a rotting, moldy mess. And in a crash, the wooden body offered almost no protection, making the driver essentially part of the crumple zone. Still, the concept was brilliant for budget adventure travel, so long as you trusted amateur carpentry with highway engineering. The total build could cost as little as $1,000 using a used VW and lumber. Today, surviving well-built examples are extremely rare, and when they appear, they can sell for $15,000 to $20,000 thanks to their retro-futuristic charm. Weirdness meter, 11 out of 10. Crash safety rating. Let's just say questionable. If you ever took a road trip across America between the 1960s and 1980s, there's a good chance you saw a Dodge Travco dominating the highway. Originally conceived by Ray Frank of Frank Motorhomes, the man credited with coining the term motorhome, The Travco was a huge leap forward for RV design. It featured a distinctive aerodynamic two-piece fiberglass body mounted on a heavy-duty Dodge truck chassis, making it one of the first true Class A motorhomes to bring real comfort on wheels. Inside, you could find rooftop air conditioning, a flushing toilet, and a full kitchen, all wrapped in a design that looked like a giant loaf of bread cruising down the road. But its biggest weakness was its sheer weight, ranging from 10,000 to 14,000 pounds. Driving one felt more like steering a cargo ship than a vehicle. Steering was vague, braking required serious effort, and the tall fiberglass body leaned heavily in corners. Even with a powerful Dodge V8 engine under the doghouse, the Travco struggled to reach highway speeds quickly due to its massive mass. It was a luxury home on wheels, but controlling it demanded the patience of a professional truck driver. Back in the 1960s, a new Travco cost around $9,000, but today these iconic RVs are highly prized by restorers. Rough project units can still be found for a few thousand, while fully restored examples can easily exceed $50,000 at auction. Weirdness meter, 5 out of 10. Nostalgia factor, 10 out of 10. And after UFO-like vans and DIY lunar campers, the final machine in this journey might be the most mind-bending camper of them all. In the late 1960s, slide-in truck campers were already popular, but interior space was always tight, until the engineers at Delray decided to completely break reality with the Delray tri-level camper. Around 1968, they designed a wild concept that stacked a full living space into 3 separate levels, mounted in the bed of a pickup truck. It featured a top cab-over bedroom, a mid-level living and dining area, and a sunken rear section for the kitchen and entryway. It was basically a split-level suburban home, squeezed into a truck bed, and somehow it existed in real life. But the engineering madness came with an obvious problem: weight and balance. The tri-level camper weighed around 3,000 pounds, and trucks of that era were never designed for such a tall, top-heavy structure. Once installed, the rear sagged heavily, the front lifted slightly, and the whole setup looked like it was one bump away from disaster. At highway speeds around 60 miles per hour, the absurdly high center of gravity made even small turns feel unstable, and strong wind gusts turned driving into a nerve-testing experience. Originally priced at about $3,000 for the shell in 1968, it was already a premium oddity back then. Today, surviving tri-level campers are extremely rare and highly prized, with collectors paying over $20,000 for intact examples. Weirdness meter, 12 out of 10. Physics-defying rating, absolutely off the charts. From tiny VW campers struggling uphill to 3-story homes balancing on pickup beds, this golden era of RV experimentation proves one thing: engineers were willing to try absolutely anything,